What's up guys, Marty here with another video. Imagine you're playing Rust, the ultimate sweaty survival PvP experience, but instead of hunting for hazmat suits and taking out people with machine guns, you're working with clans to build and fortify a castle and engage in melee skill-based PvP with swords, other medieval equipment, building siege weapons to take down enemy clans. Today, that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm talking about a game called Renown. I've been following this for a little over the last year. It used to be called Project Renown, I believe, and all we really had was like cinematic trailers, but they've really ramped it up lately. They've released it a lot more on their YouTube channel, and yesterday they released a video called something like What is Renown? So I think what better way to start than there. So I think we'll watch that video. I think I've got some combat playing in the background so you can kind of see it is really a medieval combat game. It looks a lot like, Kingdom Come Deliverance, early Chivalry, like Chivalry 1, like really basic, not basic, but like really like sandbox PvP. So yeah, let's watch the original trailer because they can probably explain it a lot better than I can. And then I'll try and fill in any gaps with any information that I've got and try and, just bring a bit more light to this game, because if they deliver on what they're saying they're going to deliver on, this could be pretty incredible. So yeah, let's get straight into the first video. Okay, let's go.
Hello, and welcome to another Renown video. My name is Jesse, one of the lead developers from RDBK Studios, and this is What is Renown? Renown is a fast-paced player versus player combat survival game with a focus on medieval warfare. Players fight to survive, not from the elements, but from each other. As players progress, they gain access to better weapons, armor, and ways to crush their enemies. Renown will feature many things
Gives me
familiar
like
to you,
proper
both
Kingdom Come
in-game
Deliverance vibes.
and in its own historical fashion. You should understand that this is only a demonstration video to show you the scope of our plans. We hope to streamline the traditional survival progression while keeping it familiar to experienced survival.
Classic survival game.
We plan on keeping things simple, both in our overall goals and in the game's system complexity. Building a strong foundation of the game is our first priority. In short, we'd prefer our players spend more time having fun than grinding, and the first few hours of learning the game to come naturally. Horses and carts will be a central part of progression, allowing for large resource runs and quick trips between.
So I like that the resource gathering they've said is going to be realistic but fun. So like you can imagine in like a real medieval setting, you would have to do that travel with logs like 500 times to build anything decent. But here, hopefully it's going to be like 10 logs for a house, something like that, something that is very doable. Sorry, I won't pause too much.
And your own base. Here we can see the player's claim banner. The banner maintains the land claim of your base, while also being the cornerstone of the progression system. Using our cart system, the players can quickly.
The building kind of reminds me of the forest.
Without much need for carrying.
If anyone's played that.
The cart does that work for you. And with this simple set of tools, a house becomes something more. If the players keep building, a humbled walled house could become a small town. And from a small town, a mighty fortress.
We're going to go Valheim on this.
You must create weapons and gear for yourself and your group. Introducing the worker system. This is a mechanic that seeks to.
So I'm guessing this is going to be like a clan's building. This is not just like one guy, right? I imagine you need a lot of people to get a big fortress like this going.
Take the hassle out of repeated movement of items and crafting. The foundation of this system is the warehouse building. Here we can see a player transferring their resources into the warehouse. Within the player's banner claim, the warehouse holds and sorts the resources for building and crafting. Here is a player at the blacksmith looking to craft a new sword. Provided they've got the warehouse and the needed resources, all they need to do is queue the particular item and the worker system does the rest.
That's very cool.
This simple system allows players to spend more time outside their base while their item.
I like how it's not just like inventory management and moving around inventory. You can literally see him like the bars move out of the warehouse, and then you see him go over to the anvil, and then the sword that you wanted appears near the stand. You can see armor is appearing on armor stands. I love like really realistic medieval games. Like Medieval Dynasty, which is like a simulation game, is one of my favorites. So yeah, I really like the look of it. And I'm guessing the workers they're talking about is going to be like a thrall system. If you've played Conan Exiles, so in Conan you basically could go out into the wild and there'd be these people and you could basically knock them out, drag them back to your camp, and kind of tame them and kind of turn them onto your side. And then if you wanted to craft something, you'd give them a list of things to craft, give them the items, and they would just churn it all out for you, so you could be out doing more stuff. It sounds like it's going to be similar to that. Myth of Empires, I played the closed testing period for that, and they're doing something similar. I'm a huge fan of that, so if that's what it is...
Items craft away back at home. There will be a wide variety of worker buildings for you to build inside your walls. Each building will have their own respective purpose to help you progress through the game. After all this talk of building and crafting, it's time to cover how to level it to the ground. Enter the Siege Engineer. Here players have the ability to build several different options for the destruction of their enemies.
That's what it's all about,
From
right?
catapults and trebuchet to battering rams and siege towers, as well as personal handheld raiding equipment.
Look at that.
Using these siege
Look at that guy at the front. He looks like a bad ass. Like, he looks like someone from Mordhau. Then you got like the protector there. That's sick.
Equipment, the attackers create openings in the enemy's base defense. This might be by blowing a hole in the walls, breaching the gates, scaling the external walls, or any manner of other options. The central idea behind the siege raiding system is not pure destruction, but to create a push and pull scenario as one side fights to gain ground inwards while the other fights to keep them out. The final goal of any siege is to take the opponent's main banner and claim the base for your own. One major problem with survival games is a new
sneaky
player
archer,
joins in on a story already half completed. Likewise, what happens after all the enemies are defeated and all the loot is yours, and you find yourself asking the question, what do I do now? By having regular wipes, we can ensure there is always a new story just around the corner. Renown will be balanced to 1 to 2 week long server cycles, though...
Okay, so that's similar to Rust then. That's literally how Rust works. So if you were to join Rust 3 days before the end of a wipe, you're going to be going up against people in like these giant towers sat with AK-47s sniping you out and shit like that. You build like a modest looking place and walk outside, they'll just delete you instantly from the server. It's so hard to get a foothold. So playing on a server that's just been wiped, everyone's got, I mean, there's going to be people that are better, there's going to be people that are teaming up, but generally you've got such an even footing. If you're going at somebody with a bow and arrow, you're not too worried about them having a rocket launcher, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think the wipe system is really good. Big fan. It has its drawbacks, like if you're not playing like 24/7, you're going to get your shit deleted when you're offline. So it does have its faults, but I'm a big fan of the wipe system.
We will also be giving community server hosts the ability to create servers catered to specific playstyles.
Community servers, RP servers,
one area
that's
of
all good.
footage that is direct gameplay footage is our combat showcase. If you'd like to see more footage of our central combat system, check out the link on screen. For the latest news of alpha and beta testing, updates, and to help us grow, join our Discord in the description below. Thank you for watching.
Nice. I mean, after playing the Chivalry 2 beta, I've got a big taste for like siege stuff, but I feel like if you look at something like Mordhau and Chivalry, the combat is just on point, but here it does look a lot more alpha, not scuffed, but like very mechanical and very rigid. But I do kind of like that, like games like Mortal Online 2, I played the beta for that, I think it was a beta, some sort of closed test, and it's like very slow and clunky, and I kind of like it. I kind of like games like that where it's very punishing, it's very slow, and it looks like this is going to be the same kind of rigid combat. I'm happy. I think it looks really good. So I've kind of scoured the website. I tried not to just sit here and read the website for ages and read up. So I've scoured the website for a little bit. I've gone into the Discord, joined that, gone through a couple of FAQs, read like general discussions on there. And I just kind of want to dump all the information I've gathered onto you guys so you know, you can get up to speed as quickly as possible. There's loads of stuff about how the combat's going to work and loads of other things on there, but it all feels a little bit very early. Nothing really seems final in that regard. There's one thing that was very interesting though that I wanted to share. I don't know if you can read this, so I'm just going to read it out. The Renown system, obviously it's called Renown, so you know, but there's this system, right? So the Renown system seeks to replicate medieval honor. In a way, players can collect certain statistics are recorded through player actions, combat, building, farming, feats, server firsts, and group activities. So kind of like achievement points in WoW, I guess. Conquest, land holdings, group participation. These stats are used to represent a player or group overall standing in various elements of gameplay. For example, some players/groups may only care about achieving combat renown, while others might care about farming/building renown. So like you can be well known for being a master blacksmith, for example. I'm hoping it goes like that, or you can be like the best archer on the server, something like that. These stats are then presented to all players in multiple clear ways. Firstly, the main market will always have a top selection of players on display. This can be through placement of clan logos and billboards, displaying the group's individuals' top renown achievements. Likewise, player will always have access to renown screen in the UI. This will feed players with information regarding their own position. Another option for the renown system is to add a progression system based on moral activities undertaken by the player. Certain actions can be designed as honourable or otherwise. So, you can be a bandit or you can be a knight, I guess. You can progress down those paths. For example, challenge other players before combat as opposed to ambushing or surprising them. Yeah, so you can be honourable or not. If the player wins, then they gain more honourable renown than they otherwise would have. Based on this system of moral honour, players can then progress down either a moral or a moral set of cosmetic gear choices alongside titles and other cosmetic effects. For example, limiting certain skins of items for being amoral. Is it amoral? I thought it was immoral. Okay. While other items are only for honourable players. Another example would be to reserve certain player titles, Count Emperor, based on renown standings. That said, the renown system is no way to change or hinder the ability to do what they wish to do. It's only a tracker to add a competitive sense to the open world game that is renowned. Likewise, it seeks to heighten the connection the player feels with their character, group, and the game as a whole. I love this if it's done properly. It reminds me, so this is proper boomer talk here, but old school MMOs. I used to play an MMO in the 90s, or early 2000s actually, and it was like, it's called like Conquer Online, and it's like if you go out and kill another player, you become flagged for like PvP. If you kill, and then like that goes after a while. Someone can kill you while you're flagged, and then they don't lose their items, they don't get flagged themselves, so they become the good guys. If you kill enough people, you get like a red name, a solid red name. If you kill tons of people, you get a solid black name, and then you're just like the big dog. You're unkillable, you're this big bandit, and you can just walk through a town and everyone knows that you are a really evil guy. And there's not enough of that in like current games. So if they can pull that off, where you have like these bandits who are like recognized as bandits, they've got like a bandit title, a bandit outfit that no one else can have, you'd know to keep your distance from them, you'd know to be worried. And if you see someone walking around dressed as a knight with like knight something after their name, you know that they're probably a really nice guy. You could ask them for help. You could probably, join their clan. They might be able to help you out, help you learn the game, stuff like that. It's kind of very speculative, but if they can pull this off, this could really turn the game into something really cool. It's not clear whether achievements are going to be linked to servers. So like if you join a fresh server, like we talked about the server wipes. So if you join like a fresh server, if they then wipe that server, do you lose your, achievements and renowned? Or, so if you joined a server, you could be like a bandit and just be a bad man for like a week solid. When that ends, can you then start a new server and be a good guy? Are those skins permanent? It's unclear, but who knows? Who knows? I guess there's not enough information out there yet. There's not enough to really know. Yeah, that's the renown system. That's the most interesting thing I could find on their website. And then I just want to run through everything else I've learned, just kind of give it to you as I found it really. So I'm just going to run through it. So the setting for the game is going to be in medieval Europe. There's no time setting, just medieval Europe. They're very vague there. The price of the game when it comes out will be an indie game price. So I'm guessing like 15 to 25 British pounds. Scale that up for your currency or scale it down, whatever. It's currently going to come out on Steam first, and then depending on how successful it is, it might come out to consoles. The genre will be a PvP combat survival game, which it was pretty clear from what we've seen. There's going to be proximity voice chat, just like in games like Rust, which is great. That makes the game so much better in my opinion, and it allows for like RP. There's apparently testing. This was a bit odd. Testing is, they're going to go into some sort of like donation period where like, kind of like a Kickstarter, I think, where you can donate and back the game. And testing will be just for the donors, I think. It's not too clear, but I think that's what I read. Kind of like how Ashes of Creation have done it. I think that's pretty good. You know, you let the people that really care about it test the game, and then they'll probably give you good feedback. Whereas if you just open it up to hundreds of people, you get good exposure, but maybe you don't get the, you know, bug reports and feedback you expect. I would like to play it myself without having to donate. I follow it. I'm in the Discord, all that jazz. But yeah, it's very unclear whether they're going to give out like free testing keys for people to try, just to like fans and people that want to support the game. Who knows? PvP is going to be the focus of the game over PvE. There's going to be NPCs in the game. There'll be no weight limit in the inventory. The clan systems, they're planning to have like clans, so you can form clans. You'll have bonuses within the clans, and the clans that they make are going to be tied to the Renown system, the Renown management system, have their own UI. As they mentioned this, it was in a video, but as they mentioned that the clans, it was very future looking, as in they haven't got the clans in place yet. They haven't really designed that. There was nothing really to show there. So I think this is all something they're doing in the future. I think the game is quite far from release as of right now. There's currently no Steam page for it. I don't think. I couldn't find one. I don't think there was a Steam page, and the game is still like to be confirmed. So there's no set release date. It is going to be a survival game, it says, but there's not like thirst and hunger. And then in terms of combat, they're working really hard on combat. I think they said like combat first. They're working core combat first to make the combat polished and fun. And then they're going to add in archery and other forms of combat, siege combat, things like that. But I imagine it's all going to be there on a release, but who knows how long release is going to be. That's kind of, you know, information dump. You know what I know now. There might be more stuff out there. If you know anything else about the game, let me know in the comments, because yeah, there's not a great deal to find so far. Like I say, the videos have started coming out on YouTube very recently. Like the one I showed a minute ago came out yesterday. So there's going to be more coming out in the future. Hopefully we can learn some more. But yeah, that's everything so far. I think this looks incredible. This looks like if they can do what they did with Rust in a medieval setting with proximity voice chat, servers where you can like, I don't want to say like server wipe servers, but servers where you can join, create your own story for a week, and then join again a week later and create another story. The replayability is mad. I've got friends who've got like 100, 500 hours on Rust. That in a medieval setting with sieges and siege weapons and big clan castles could be phenomenal. But at the minute, it's not a pipe dream, but it's very far from being something I can tangibly say, this is going to be the next Rust. This could be a medieval Rust if it's polished, designed, and if it comes out. It's so far away. You never know what's going to happen with these games. They could run out of money. The funding could go to shit. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. But if what is speculated and what is planned is delivered, this looks incredible. Yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments of Renown. I'm hyped, but reserved. You know, I don't want to get too excited. It's not coming out next week. It's very far away. There's no way of getting our hands on it anytime soon. But yeah, what do you think? If you know anything else, let us know in the comments if there's more that I've missed here that you want to share. Because yeah, let's learn more about the game together, right? If you've liked the video, dropping a like really does help the channel. It helps like the algorithm push it out to more people, gets me more views, gets the game more exposure. So yeah, win-win. And if you like this style of video, I cover medieval games all the time, so subscribing to the channel will get you them as soon as I make them. Other than that, guys, thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.